How we doing today, man? I am excited because I really think this is it. I think this is it. I think that we are going to figure out how to finally follow our rules. Finally follow our rules perfectly. It's gonna be hard, but all it takes is a mental commitment. That's all it will take is just to say, look, I'm done. I'm done messing up. And why have I come to this conclusion? Well, I've been watching back a lot of my videos, and I knew this. I knew that I've been making the same mistakes for a while. I knew it. I knew it, right? We all knew it. You guys knew it. We all knew. I'm making the same mistakes, and it's just like, why? Why am I making the same mistakes? It doesn't make any sense. But then I think about it. It's like, okay, cool. I'm making the same mistakes. I'm not gonna beat myself up about the past, whatever. But I have to change. I have to change, and part of it is just accepting and just throwing away the idea I might not be profitable right now. With how I'm currently trading, with the trades I currently look for, I might not be profitable. And that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow. Why? Because you have to sacrifice the idea of making money and all of that and just say, look, I'm going to follow a plan to a T, and then I can make fixes. If I keep losing, follow my plan, then I figure out, okay, what's losing, right? What's not working? Why is it not working? Right? Would I had more trade? Would I had another trade if I do more than one trade? Would I had another loss? You can fine tune the details if you can just follow your rules and trust yourself. I need to build the trust that I'm not taking a dumb setup, that I'm not FOMOing, that I'm not taking something that I don't think looks good. I should only be taking trades I think look great. And that's hard to do. It's easier said than done. So what are my new rules? What are my new rules? Let me read them off for you guys. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you know my new rules. But my new rules consist of... My new rules are 4 micros. So I'm trading 4 micros per trade, right? No more, no less. As long as the stop loss is 50 points or less, I will not allow myself to take a trade that has more than a 50-point stop loss. Why? Because I'm not trying to lose more than 400 on one trade. So if I take only trades that are 50 points, then I can't lose more than 400, which would be too much. But it still is a good sizing to where if I hit a 50-point trade, I'm making $400. So that's a lot. That's good. And if I hit like a 100-point trade and you're making $800, like it doesn't really matter the dollar amount. A plus trades only. That's a given, right? That's a given. That's part though is the subjective part. That's the hard part. Also, the draw and liquidity must be at least a 1-to-1, right? So the target must at least be a 1-to-1. I can't take a trade that the target's not a 1-to-1. And 1 trade per day. That's the most important piece is 1 trade per day. Why am I doing that? Because when I look back through my trading, and I guess we'll just go over what happened today, right? Today we had a losing day, or I guess break even, but a red day. But when I go back through the day, and I'll show you guys the trade I took later, but when I go back through my account, right, the days that I actually win my trading, I take 1 trade. So here we took 2 trades this day and actually came out ahead for that. But the majority of the time we take 1 trade and we actually win. So we took 1 trade, we won. We took 1 trade, we won. We took 1 trade. This is 1 trade I just partialed out, we won. I took 1 trade here, partialed out, we won, right? I typically win, on the days that I win, I typically take 1 trade. So why would I on the days that we lose, right? What do? We take a trade at 10, 20, we take 2 trades, a loss and then a loss, or maybe even 3 trades. Here, we take 3 trades, a little break even, or a small loss, loss, and loss, right? 3 losses. Here, loss, 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 right? Why lose twice, right? Why lose twice? Why lose multiple times when I'm only winning once during the day? So again, I ideally wish I didn't have to do 1 trade a day. Here's a good example of us actually making profit on the day by going for 2 trades, but it doesn't happen as much, right? Typically, I just lose the second trade. Look, we took I guess the second trade was break even, but again, typically 1 trade, boom, we win. 1 trade to win, right? Typically, we win our first trade, and that's how we do better. And we can avoid really big losing weeks by not having really big losing weeks, taking 1 trade. I guess we could still technically have a big losing week because of the size we're using, but we're not going to just lose and lose and lose, right? It's going to average out better, right, is all I'm trying to say. So today was a break-even day. It's going to look like a losing day because I guess it was, but it was a break-even trade, and I'm happy with it, right? So what was the trade we took? We took this trade right here. We had a liquidity sweep at the high, we had a inversion, and we went break even at this low. Why did I go break even at this low? I went break even at this low because we're in an uptrend. I'm not going to fight the uptrend. I'm going to take a model that looks good, but I'm not going to fight the uptrend. I expected us to pull back a little bit deeper. That's why I took the short, because we are up from market open and whatever. We're up 2%, 2.75%, right? If we do this again from like right here, market open overnight, we're up 2%. So that's pretty hectic. So I did expect us to actually drop a little bit lower, which is what I'm still expecting us to roll over and get some sort of relief and pull back. But again, I'm going to be a lot more aggressive on break even, but this was exactly my trade plan. I got into the trade. I was risking this high or this high, and I was risking 21 points, and I was going to target these relative equal lows right here. So I was going to always go break even. So this was always my plan, was to go break even at this low, right? I was always going to go break even there. So we go break even. We waited. I was really good. I was really patient. I saw this. It came up, held the inversion, so I didn't close. I didn't panic, and it dumped. Boom. Trades back up to CE. 2 candles. I was like, oh, I should have gone break even, but then I didn't. And then it hits the break even point, and we get stopped at break even. So cool. That's day done. And I was done for the day. So I'm really happy about that. Why? Because that's following the plan. It keeps me from what? It keeps me from this. Getting stopped at break even, having the idea of short bias, and then seeing this down close candle come in and being like, yo, I'm going to jump in shorts because I just got stop hunted or whatever. This is the move. And then guess what? Now I lose on this trade here because I'm FOMOing back in. Oh, I could easily have told myself, oh, we're just sweeping this high, and then we're just going to continue lower. We're surely going to dump now. We surely have to go lower. But it doesn't have to, right? And this is not a valid entry, but you FOMO because you see a down close candle in your direction and you take another loss. And that was the biggest thing I would keep seeing when I was looking back at my trading was whenever I would lose, I would be losing on the same setup that I could just take one loss on. I would lose 3, 4, 5 times because I keep getting back in, or I stop for a small loss or a small break even, and as soon as the candle keeps going in my direction, I get back in the trade and I lose again. So that's the biggest thing. Rewatching my videos, just like, look, it never works out when you stop out of a trade early and try and get back in because you see it go in your direction. A lot of the time when you get stopped at break even, it's probably not going to keep going higher. A lot of the time, if you're doing break evens properly, you're probably not going to benefit from going break even. Right now, I'm expecting us to deliver lower. And what was this trade? Well, this was just a SMT at the high. This trade is actually a lot better than the first trade I took. An SMT at the high. And we have this fair value gap get inverted. So I got in on this close, stop loss above this candle right here. And I was targeting this fair value gap, the bottom of the fair value gap, and these equal lows. That's the trade idea. Really, really nice trade. It's starting to work really well. And again, I would go break even with a strong close below this low. A strong close below that low. So really, really nice trade. I would actually trail my stop now to this high. Yeah, I would trail my stop to that high. Could come back up, but it shouldn't. A strong close below. I'll kind of just walk through this trade live. But I'm allowing myself to. This is something I'm doing. I'm taking one trade per day, but I'm allowing myself, if it's still in the time window, which it was before 11:30, I can take a second trade to see, okay, would a second trade have helped me today? And in this case, if it does play out, this second trade would help. If it doesn't, then it wouldn't help. But if this trade does play out, then yes, a second trade would have actually helped me out, and I would have actually made money off it. But I'm trying to do one trade because, again, typically the one trade is good. So that was my trade. What was the overall idea with today? It was just kind of the pullback to this 15-minute gap after we got so extended. Our targets got ran really early. I really wish I was able to get along to this high or this high because these are the clear and obvious targets for the day. But I'll kind of go over why I couldn't find that. And we go on the 1 minute here. Right off market open. This was actually a really nice entry. It would have been the 30-second push. But again, I don't trade this. I don't like to get in this early. I don't like to get in this early off open. But this would have been a really, really nice trade to a very clear and obvious draw on liquidity. And day done very, very quick. I just didn't. I didn't take it. That's fine. So that high was ran early. What happened to the other high? We had this high here. We just never got a really, really clean setup. We never got the pullback to where I wanted us to. I wanted to see us pull back to this 5-minute gap right here, and we never got it, so I just couldn't get a trade there. right? I need to see us pull back. We never swept this low. So I need to see more. We didn't get it, and then we run the high. So at this point, I'm no longer looking for really high probability longs because I just don't expect, longs to really print like that. Right, I would mitigate more risk here by going there, $100 risk now. And I would actually just go break even at this low right here. So this trade, I would move my stop loss to, see where ES is at. See when ES runs that low. So boom, I would go break even now. So worst case today would be 2 break-even trades. Let's see, the second trade could be a winner, but at worst case, the 2 trades today would be break-even. So today would be either a break-even day or a winning day if I took 2 trades. Yeah. So I'm expecting to get this first take profit at least. But yeah, so those are my rules. That's what I'm going to try and start doing because I really... Again, I have to just sacrifice. I might not be profitable. I might not be successful. But, like right now. But if I keep following my plan and I can trust myself, hey, I'm only taking good setups. I'm taking the best possible setup. I'm not FOMO anything. I'm waiting for a proper idea, proper context, proper narrative. If I'm doing all the right things, right, you can't fail, right? You can't fail because you're doing the right things, right? It's a simple concept, but it's true, right? You can't fail if you're doing the right things. And that's kind of like where my mindset has shifted is like, okay, cool. I don't want to keep doing what I know doesn't work. And I don't know what works. I don't know what works. I don't know what strategy will work. I don't know which strategy won't work. I just have to follow a plan, which is 1 trade a day, even though it's stressing me out. Why does 1 trade stress me out? It stresses me out because sometimes I feel like I might hesitate on a trade because, it's my 1 trade. Because it's my 1 trade for the day, so sometimes I overthink like, oh my gosh, this is my only trade. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want this to be a loser. But then the reality is that probably was a good trade. So 1 trade stresses me out, but I have to stick to it because I need to trust something. Sizing, check, 4 micros. Maybe we figure out that I like to take dynamic risk, which is like every stop loss I try and do risk the same dollar amount. I don't know. So I'm just going to try and do 4 micros, try and take a trade, and try and be happy with the result and trade according to my plan. Because that's another thing. I have to trade according to my plan. I can't get scared. I can't take profit early. I can't do all these things differently. I have to follow the plan, right? And the plan is get in the trade, properly execute. 1 trade a day, be done. Learn from the market, get experience, but build conviction and confidence that you can follow a plan. Right? Then we can see, okay, does 2 trades a day help? Does 1 trade? Does this model work? Do I like this entry model work? Right? Until I can build the baseline of, hey, I trust myself to not jump back in after a loss. I trust myself to not get back into the market, to not over leverage, to not, trail my stop early. Once I can trust myself to hold trades how I know I need to hold them, and I can trust myself to take trades I know I should be taking, boom, everything opens up. Okay, I can tweak this. Oh, I don't really like this type of entry. Oh, I don't really like these types of days. Oh, I shouldn't be taking trade after this. You can finally get your strategy and build your profitable model. But if every time you lose, if every time I lost, I just say, you know what, I'm going to get another trade. And then you lose again, get another trade. If every time I do that, or if every time I see something happening and I'm like, I don't have a confident entry, but I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get in here. Or, you know what, I'm going to over leverage here. If I'm doing those problems that I have, which is jumping to bad trades, not holding my trades correctly. If I can't do the basics right, I'm never going to be able to do the advanced stuff. And that's kind of like where my mindset has shifted a lot. And I'm really focused. I really don't think I'm going to ever break my rules currently again. What am I going to do? I'm going to trade these rules until for the rest of these 2 accounts. I have a fresh account right here that has $2,000 drawdown, and I have this account that has $531 drawdown. I'm going to trade these 2 accounts. Using this rule, pass, fail, or payout, fail, regardless. I don't care. I'm using these accounts regardless, this way. So we'll see, right? And again, I have to sacrifice my ego of I might not get a payout. I might still not get a payout, right? It's hard to say that. It's hard to say, look, I might follow these rules and I still might not get a payout. And that's fine, right? That's perfectly fine because I'm just going to close this trade so I don't have to like, I guess it doesn't matter, but, okay, it doesn't matter. It's a paper trade. I'm about to turn off my computer after this video anyways. But I have to forget about getting a payout. I have to forget about anything else. I'm trading a big enough size that if I was profitable, 4 micros is more than enough to get a payout. Why? Why? Well, $2,000 on 4 micros, $2,000 on 4 micros divided by 8, that's 250 points. So I could net 250 points in a month. I could net that. If I'm trading for the 4 weeks, right? That means I just have to net like 62 points. Right? Let's just drop it lower. Let's just say we try and net 50 points a week, right? And we could do more, we can do less. 50 points in a week times it by 8, that's $400 a week, right? If you did that across 5 accounts, that's $2,000 a week. That's more than enough. And you can keep scaling. You can do all the things you want. But like, the point being, I'm trading a contract size. I'm trading a sizing that will allow me to succeed. It's not like I'm trading 1 micro and you have to hit 1 billion trades in a row and really, really be insane to make money off 1 micro and take a lot of trades. No, 4 micros is more than enough to get in, get out. Get in, get out. And that's the game plan. In terms of partialing, I just have to be smart with how I partial. I can't just partial because I'm scared of the trade, but, you know, I have to just partial normally. So I'm excited. I really hope I'm profitable. I hope that doing this can make me profitable. But what's going to have to happen? I'm still going to have to take good setups. I'm still going to have to take good trades. That's simple. I'm going to have to take good trades. I'm going to have to consistently worry about only things that matter. Like, it's a no news Monday. Am I going to expect a really, really probable condition? Probably not. Like, we had a rip, but if you didn't get involved in the longs, right, this is a glorified chop. But what else do we have this week? We have FOMC on Wednesday. So Wednesday, I can't trade. I'm not trading FOMC day. I'm not trading after FOMC either. So that's a whole day we can't trade. We have a bank holiday on Thursday, so I can't trade. That's 2 days. And then on Friday, I'm not sure if I'm trading. So that's 2, potentially 3 days that I'm not trading, right? That I'm not trading. So what does that do on Tuesday? What does that do tomorrow? I know that Wednesday and Thursday, I'm not trading guaranteed. So what does that mean? What does that mean for Tuesday? Does it mean I force a trade because, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to trade this week? No, I can't. That's where the skill comes in. That's where the discipline comes in. That's where it all comes into play. Nice 5-minute tap. Beautiful. Beautiful 3-minute tap, 5-minute tap. Wow, beautiful. That's where it comes into play is when you're in and you realize all the emotional things. My account's down. I want a payout. This week sucks. This week sucks when it comes to news. When it comes to actual day trading, this week will probably be bad. So don't force anything. Don't take the setup you know to take. Take the A+ setup. That is something I would screenshot and post on TikTok or Twitter. That's the setup I need to take every single time. And I hold the trade. I hold the trade no matter how I feel. I hold the trade. I trade every trade different or the same. I don't trade it based on if I lost yesterday, if I won yesterday, if I did X, Y, Z. I trade the plan. I trade the plan. And then we can make adjustments. We can make adjustments after we get a sample size. But I have to keep taking good trades, and I have to keep trading them properly so I can see, okay, what's actually happening. And I know that if I can do those things, I'll be fine, and I'll see results. I really know I can. It's just about, hey, what happens when you get that punch in the face? When Mike Tyson hits you in the face, what are you going to do? Are you going to fold? Are you going to jump back in a trade because you're sad that you lost? Are you gonna do dumb stuff, or are you gonna do smart stuff, right? And that's the hard part. That's the hard part. It's why I've been in this cycle for so long of just taking a break even, taking a loss, jumping in another trade, trying so much, trying too hard. Just calm it down, right? That's what I need to remember. Remember, just calm down. Just calm down. That's all I need to tell me. Calm down. Don't worry about making it all today. Don't worry about the payout. Don't worry about anything. Take your trade. Stop where your stop needs to be. Take profit where your take profit needs to be. Enter when you need to enter, right? It's that simple. And if we're looking at today, again, where for inversion for value gaps, where were my trade opportunities today, right? This trade wasn't bad, but this trade was better. We have an SMT. ES does not sweep out the high. Boom, lower low. SMT, we've been trending all day, right? What happens? Boom, immediately we inverse this gap here. Boom, immediate displacement. You could even enter on this fair value gap, whatever. We chop around for a while, but the delivery happens. So who cares? That's again what you have to remind yourself. Sometimes it chops and you lose, but this one didn't. This one didn't lose, and that's the thing that I always forget with trading is like I get so caught up in the ones that lose when it's like think about all the ones that win. This setup was break even, and then the only other setup I had today was this one, and this one worked. This one worked. So I need to stop being so scared of the ones that don't work, because if you just follow the plan and you hold your stop loss at this high and you follow this plan, you would have won today. Some days you might lose, and that's the thing. I don't know how to make the point I'm trying to make, but some days you lose, some days you win. And as long as you have a strategy that wins more than it loses, you're fine. I'm fine. We will all be fine. But it's so easy to, like today, looking back, today is a winning, I mean, again, I'm fine with the break even, but today's a winning day. Why? Because the only trades I would have taken would have either won or been break even. So that builds confidence. I can build confidence that, look, what I'm looking for works, right? This worked. SMT, inversion, displacement, this worked. It doesn't work all the time, but it worked today, and that builds confidence, and it worked Friday, right? What happened Friday? What happened Friday? The trade we took, it worked. It worked, right? The inversion, boom, you get in, and if you wanted to hold to this high, it worked. It worked. It worked, right? Sometimes it doesn't. This trade, this re-entry right here, a 5-minute trade, re-entry, boom, get in here. This trade, right? You don't know when you enter, when you get in here and you have your entry here, you don't know when you go break even at this high, you don't know that you're not going to get stopped at break even, but you didn't because you follow the plan. And that's all it is it works. These concepts, these strategies, they work. Whatever strategy you're trading, it probably works. But it's user error, right? It's user error. Because what happens? What happens on this on Friday here? What happens on Friday? Where were we? What happens on Friday? Well, I get into the trade and, I get into the trade and I enter here. And then boom, we come up and then I get scared in this move and I close it here. So yes, I make profit, but I close it for significantly less. Or I get in this trade here and when we pull back, I close the trade because I feel like, I don't want to get stopped at break even. So because of a user error, you stop out on the trade here for like 10 points. So you stop the trade out of yourself for 13 points. So yes, you won, but you miss out on another 45 points. So 50 points. And then you miss out from the high, another 62. So you're missing out on like 70-point winners because you get afraid. So follow the plan, trade the plan, and you will see results. And that's, again, because what happens? What happens when you close the trade here and it would have won? Right? What happens? So, okay, cool. I closed this trade early. I got in here and I closed it early and it won. So what happens then? Okay, cool. We won though. We still made money, right? No, because instead of making what you should have made, the next time that you take your loss, and let's just say that you took I don't really have a nice trade that lost here, but let's just say that you took a short here, even though it's not a trade. Then when you lose, right, you can't be losing in full and winning in half. And that's what I've been doing for so long is losing fully losing my trade, but then winning halfway winning, halfway taking profits, halfway doing this, halfway doing that, closing this one early, doing that, revenge trading. It's simple. It's so simple. We are back. We are back better than ever. The energy's here. The mindset's here. I'm making the shifts I need to make in my life. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen quick. It's going to happen quick. We got this. We have got this. We're going to be fine. We're going to be good. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I hope that you guys don't have to believe me. You guys probably think, she's just talking out of, his behind again. He's not going to follow his rules. I am locked in. I'm not breaking any rule. I'm not breaking a single rule. I'm going to do it. 4 micros, 1 trade a day, good trades, hold properly. Boom. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I need to drill this in my head. That's why I'm making this video. It's that simple. This is the turning point. This is it. This is the step. This is the first step in profitability. First step. Sizing, trade idea, holding. Boom. That's it. I don't care if it wins or loses. Did I take a great setup? Yeah, I took an A+ setup. Cool. Okay, cool. A+ setup. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, well. Next time, right? But what did I do? I held properly. I didn't go break even early. I didn't close the run early. I didn't do all these bad habits, right? Hold the trade how you have to hold the trade. Hold the trade how you need to hold it. Size properly. Easy, right? Easy. 4 micros. Again, maybe that changes, but that's simple. 4 micros. Boom. Sizing done. How many trades per day? 1 trade. Okay, done. 1 trade, 4 micros. Easy. That should never be messed up. That should never be messed up. Because why? Why would I ever mess that up? 1 trade, 4 micros. The hard part, the gray lines, is the A+ subs. Why? Because sometimes you take a sub that's not really A+, but that's where you learn. That's where you journal. That's where you get better. That's where the improvement's made. Hold the trade. 4th, hold the trade properly. So we have 4 rules. We have 4 rules. Rule 1, the most important, right? The most important, or not the most important, but the most easy to follow. 4 micros per trade. Easiest one to follow, right? 2, 1 trade per day. Boom. 3. What was 3? 3 is A+ setups. A+ setups only. And then 4, last but not least, 4 is, and the most important, hold how you, let's do this all caps. Hold the trade like you know you have to, or need to, should. Boom. That's it. That is it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. How did I blow this up? Right? 40. This is it. This is it. This is it. That's all I have to do. All I have to do. I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to screenshot this. Let's do it. Boom. This is all I have to do. All I have to do every day. Boom. There's a screenshot. I'm going to make this like my computer's back screen. I'm going to make it my backdrop on my computer. That's all I need. 4 micros per trade. Boom. Rule. Next. 1 trade a day. Again, I'm rehashing this. A+ setups only. Hold the trade like you know you should. What else is there to do in trading? What else is there? There's nothing. It's either this makes you profitable, or you tweak your A+ models, or you tweak how many trades you take per day based on data. But you don't tweak that based on emotion. You don't lose one day and jump in another trade, right? You don't win one day and stop. You trade your system and you make adjustments based on data. You can only get data by following your rules. Okay, 4 micros is too much. I'm losing too quickly. Or 4 micros is not enough. Or 1 trade a day. The second trade is always better. Or if I take 2 trades, I'm more profitable. Or we don't know yet until we follow the basics. A+ setups only. Oh, well, my A+ setup needs to have this now. I need to have an SMT. I need to have a liquidity sweep. I need to change state delivery. You add things, you subtract things, you figure it out. Hold the trade like you know you should. Well, I don't know. If I got in a short, should I hold the trade down to low of day? Right? You learn that through time. Right? You learn that through time. So what do you do? What do you do in the meantime? Well, what do you do in the meantime is you hold it how you think you should do. And you get data to tell you, okay, I need to be targeting more R. I need to be targeting less R. I need to be more aggressive. I need to take partials. I need to not take partials. But you get that data, right? You might not be profitable by following your rules, but you only be profitable if you follow your rules, right? Isn't that crazy? Isn't it? Lock in with me real quick. You won't be profitable. Okay, let me restart. You might not be profitable by just following your rules. You might not be profitable. But you can only be profitable if you only follow your rules. That's a quote. I'm about to post that on Twitter, right? Banger day. Follow the rules. I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to go surfing. I'm a little bit late already. I didn't get out of here. Please use my code Apex and Alpha Futures. Use code Diego. There's no activation fee on Alpha Futures advanced plans for the whole month of June. We are $20. Finally, we're about to do the giveaway. We are $20 away of commission. Before I do a giveaway, I'll give away an account to someone on live stream in my Discord. So if you use my code on Alpha Futures, send me a screenshot. If you use the code on Apex, you can send me a screenshot. But the Alpha Futures is the giveaway, and that will be happening soon, or as soon as we use $20 more of the code. So yeah, use the Apex code. It helps me out. I appreciate it. Again, I'm gonna always plug it at the end of the video because it helps me out. We all can use a little extra bucks in our pocket. So I appreciate everyone that watched the video today. Please subscribe if you're new, or if you've been watching for a while and you don't subscribe, please, it's free. It helps me make me feel good about myself, right? And it's free. So like the video, comment. How did you guys do today? I struggle on trend days, but that's the thing. I want to just talk about the rules, and I want to lock us in. We're focused. We're grinding. We are ready, man. This is the first step. We are good, man. We're good.